Welcome back to the Thailand Headline Fever Dream. We've got some very important stories today along the lines of the Thai police chief pushing back on the narrative that the Royal Thai Police has a corruption problem. It sounds like online scams are becoming even more of an issue in the country. Another foreign tourist makes a terrible life decision and is arrested at the airport for carrying something that you probably would not guess. And speaking of problems, over the past couple years, Thailand's tourist industry has also been dealing with some major ones, but there are some ideas, there are some changes that look like they're going to be implemented, so we will cover those as well. Good morning from Thailand and good morning from No Chill November Day 8 daily videos, weekly live streams. Thank you to all you guys who showed up to the live stream yesterday. I really appreciate you being there. And a huge thank you to everybody that's been keeping up with the videos so far this month. But with that in mind, I've got a bone to pick with some of you. It's looking like around 65% of the people who watched our last video are not subscribed. That is not ideal for me, so I will make you a deal. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe right now. All I'm asking is that you hang out for the entire video, and at the end of it, then you can make a decision if you would like to subscribe, if you like what you're seeing, and if you decide not to subscribe, please let me know why down in the comments below. We're always open to a little constructive criticism, but enough yip yap. Let's get into our first story. You may remember a couple weeks ago, we covered a story where the former Thai police chief, as well as 200 other officers, were found guilty of taking bribes from an online gambling website. With that in mind, the current Thai police chief has come out and made a statement because since those other officers were found guilty, there has been a lot of noise going around of people saying that this is just the surface and things go a whole lot deeper. Thailand's police chief has defended the force after facing accusations from outside critics who claimed it operates as a large-scale criminal organization. Police General Kirirat Panpet, Commissioner General of the Royal Thai Police, has fiercely defended his organization against allegations that it operates as a large-scale criminal organization. Speaking yesterday, November 6, Big Thai, as he's widely known, addressed the media during a policy update on the national crackdown against tech-based fraud and call center scams. He insisted that police remain committed to stamping out criminal networks despite growing criticism and accusations from what he describes as quote-unquote outsiders. These are very serious accusations. They are accusing the entire Royal Thai Police of being a criminal organization. It's painful, but I've kept my cool and continued to work under fire. The commissioner said that while there are bad apples in every institution, the majority of officers are working hard, even risking their lives to serve the country. Some of our people are bedridden from strokes. Some have lost limbs in the line of duty. Are they criminals too? Kirirat confirmed the Royal Thai Police is working closely with Interpol, the United Nations, and Asian police forces to tackle international fraud and human trafficking networks. He clarified that many operations stem from outside the country, and Thailand is cooperating with foreign governments to bring fugitives to justice. So my take on this, well, you know, when it comes to things like this, it's hard to use anecdotal evidence, you know, because what your situation might be or things that you have countered might not be true across the board. But if you've spent any time in Thailand, you know there are some times if you're dealing with the police and it's something that's not, you know, too serious, things that would be like a traffic violation, stuff like that. Sometimes you can pay for those tickets on site, if you know what I mean. I totally agree with what the chief did say, though. I firmly believe that the vast majority of officers are doing their job because they, you know, want to help. They want to take care and protect their community. All the interactions I've had with the Thai police, mostly just getting stopped on my motorbike, they are very respectful. I've never felt like I was being coerced or forced to pay for something that I did not do. And even when I was found with violations, you know, my bike has a couple of things on it that the police don't like, they were still very respectful. And I do give a lot of them a lot of credit because even though Thailand is very safe, there's bad stuff that goes on. And these guys are always the first one there. There's one camp that says it's completely rampant in every single officer. Then on the other side, it's like, there's bad apples. I tend to agree with the latter, I think. And speaking of what the majority of those honest officers are doing is a perfect segue into our next story. This is something that they have been pushing very hard over the past 6 months or so to try to get it under control. Nigerian man, 5 Thais arrested for 114 million baht online romance scam. Police have dismantled a major romance scam network run by a Nigerian national and 5 Thai accomplices, accused of swindling victims out of 114 million baht. The Arrests were made during Operation Romance 114, that's a great name, led by officers from the Technology Crime Suppression Division, targeting suspects across Bangkok and Chonburi. The group faces multiple charges, including fraud, conspiracy, computer crimes, money laundering, and impersonation. Police also seized assets valued at over 2.5 million baht, believed to be proceeds from the scam. According to police, the gang operated by creating fake online personas, usually attractive foreign men, on social media platforms to lure in victims. Once trust was gained, the scammers convinced their targets to transfer large sums of money under false pretenses. The operation was well structured, with each suspect playing a distinct role, said Police Colonel Chit Sanupong YD, who led the raid. Unfortunately, this is a reality in the country. I think this is a reality pretty much everywhere. I've seen this happen multiple times. I see posts all the time on, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, of usually it's guys, these, maybe older guys that are in their home country. They think they met a Thai girl on a dating site or social media or whatever. And then before you know it, they're sending all kinds of money, and then things don't ever work out. Especially with AI nowadays, guys, please be careful out there. I would highly advise against trying to meet people online, especially as soon as somebody starts asking for money. 99 times out of 100, I can pretty much guarantee that is a scam. Don't trust anything you see on the internet nowadays, guys. I'm very excited to announce that we are bringing back our Dum Dum of the Week award, and this guy in the next story definitely gets it. Another one of those situations where I'm just like, man, how did you think that was gonna work out? What was the plan? I just don't get it. Let's dive in. Foreign tourists arrested with loaded ammo at Phuket Airport. An Israeli tourist was arrested at a Phuket airport when police discovered a loaded ammunition magazine in his checked luggage during a routine scan. The arrest took place around 4:30 p.m. yesterday, November 6th, after security staff at the airport's domestic terminal flagged a suspicious item during a routine baggage scam. The 26-year-old traveler, who had flown in from Koh Samui on a Bangkok Airways flight, had a black suitcase containing a loaded 5.56 magazine. For you guys out there that aren't American and might not know too much about ammo, that's a rifle caliber. That's a pretty serious round. Officers arrived at the x-ray room to inspect the suitcase and confirm the presence of a magazine loaded with 29 rounds of live ammunition. It wasn't one, it wasn't two, it wasn't 10. Almost 30 rounds. What are we doing? The tourist, whose name has not yet been released by police, was taken into custody at the scene. He was informed of his rights and charged with illegal possession of ammunition, an offense which a license cannot be issued under Thai law. A spokesperson from the Sakho police station said the magazine and ammunition had been seized as evidence. Little news flash for everybody out there. In case you don't know, every airport, pretty much, well, at least everyone I've been to, everywhere in the world, they have metal detectors, guys. In case you aren't aware, bullets are made out of metal. So I'm not sure what the plan was here. I'm pretty surprised. We made it almost probably a month without seeing somebody else getting busted in the airport for trying to bring things through that they're obviously gonna get caught for. Well, at least this time it wasn't somebody with 80 kilos in their carry-on, but dude, what are we doing? Now, in regards to our next story, this is probably the conversation that I see happening most on, Thailand social media and expat groups, all that stuff. I think, personally, I have definitely seen it over like the past year or so. Thai tourism chiefs urge bold fixes to win back visitors. Tourism experts gathered in Bangkok to discuss how Thailand can regain traveler confidence, adapt to new demands, and boost its global tourism standing. Thailand must move quickly to restore tourist confidence, enhance safety, and offer modern, meaningful experiences if it wants to remain a top global destination. Deputy Governor for Marketing Communications at the Tourism Authority of Thailand said a short-term dip in arrivals was mainly due to fewer short-haul visitors, particularly from China. However, he noted the promising rise in long-haul travelers, especially from Europe and the United States. So personally, I don't know if I feel like I've been seeing more Europeans, but I do say, at least in Pattaya, it does seem like there are a lot more Americans now. When I first got here, it was pretty random to meet another American, but now I feel like it happens pretty frequently. Quote unquote, we can't say everything is looking good, but things are improving. Niti said that Thailand still enjoys a strong image on social media where it's portrayed as friendly and safe. I can totally agree with that. Thailand is still very much a safe place. Do bad things happen? Absolutely. But, compared to where I'm from, you are much less likely to have something bad happen to you in Thailand than you are in, say, Los Angeles. He emphasized that the new generation of tourists seeks fresh and unique experiences. Young travelers are now exploring places traditionally favored by older tourists. That's why we need to shift perceptions and use pop culture to attract them. So I'm not really sure how I feel about this one. I'm not sure that the vast majority of younger tourists are coming to Thailand because they want to experience new and modern things. At least with myself, a big reason why I wanted to come to Thailand was to experience Thailand. If I wanted to go somewhere that was super modern or, very quote unquote up to date with entertainment and stuff like that, I would have gone to Tokyo, I would have gone to Seoul. But they do dive into that a little bit as well. So let's go ahead and read on here. Niti said, TAT's main challenge lies in appealing to both short-term and long-stay tourists. I can agree with that. Short-term visitors prefer man-made attractions while long-haul travelers look for authentic cultural experiences. I agree with that. I think, if you're gonna move to Thailand, I think a lot of expats are moving here because they wanna live in Thailand. They wanna, be in Thai culture. So I'm on board with that. He called for a balance between developing new attractions and preserving Thai heritage. Addressing concerns from Chinese tourists, Niti vowed to enhance safety at hotels and restaurants and push for better flight access, noting that many routes still haven't returned to pre-pan levels. He called for improved transport infrastructure, including rail links between Asia and China, and urged development of more man-made attractions, noting that Vietnam currently outpaces Thailand in this area. Still, he believes Thailand's street food, culture, and hospitality remain strong assets. So for the most part, everything they seem to be targeting here, or their ideas for why things are taking a bit of a dip, I mostly agree with. But I do feel like there are a few things. I want you guys to let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree, or your personal opinions, why you think tourism is taking a dip in Thailand. I think it's a little more intricate than that. I think they haven't taken a dip solely because people want these new man-made attractions and they're not getting them here. Thailand has had great tourist numbers for decades. And even before, Thailand spent a lot of energy modernizing and bringing in these, world technologies and, modernization, there was still a lot of people coming here. So I think it's kind of a catch-22. Like they did say, I think there's a lot of people that come to Thailand because they want to experience Thai culture. They want to experience Thailand. So if you start modernizing too much or, trying to make things more like the West, you kind of get away from that. So I think that is gonna, make you lose those travelers. And I think they are right in saying that short-term visitors and long-term visitors are looking for different things. But if you're talking about income, if you want, the country to be making money from these people, I do feel like you kind of got to pick a team. You can do a few things to, help out both short-term and long-term. But I feel like if you do everything to help one, it's gonna come at the cost of sacrificing things to the other. You know what I mean? Another thing I feel like hasn't been mentioned enough as another possible problem is just like anywhere else in the world, it's not exclusive to Thailand, but Thailand is getting more expensive. I have noticed it even in the few years that I've been here, especially if you're in the very traveled areas, it's very easy to see restaurants and hotels that are pretty much the same price as what those places would be back in the West. Now, that's not to say you can't still find good deals. You can, but it for sure feels like you're having to hunt more and more to find those deals. So that's my take on it. I want to know what you think down in the comments. As always, what do you think is leading to this dip? Maybe if you spent time in Thailand or you lived here and now you're looking towards other places, please let us know down in the comments why. And that way we can have an idea of why people are starting to make these decisions. That is all from me for now. Everybody who has kept up with all of the No Chill November videos so far, I really appreciate it. I see you guys in the comments. I'm really good at recognizing names. Everybody who's continually here, I cannot tell you how much I really appreciate it. Everybody says it on YouTube, but the reality is without you guys watching, dropping comments, liking, all that stuff, I wouldn't be able to do this. I really enjoy making these videos. I really enjoy having you here. So thank you so much for that. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.